Hello and welcome to the Songwriters Workshop. This is the series where I attempt to write songs based on the process and techniques of famous songwriters. Each video looks at a different songwriter's writing habits, musical inspirations, and creative process, while also including an original song written using those techniques. So let's take a look at our next songwriter. In this video, we will be looking at the songwriting process of Lenny Kravitz.
His name is Leonard Kravitz.
Lenny released his first album in 1989 and continued to release an album every 3 to 4 years to his most recent album, Raise Vibration, in 2018. His songs include hits like It Ain't Over Till It's Over, Are You Gonna Go My Way, Again, and Fly Away, the last of which won him his first Grammy Award in 1999 for Best Male Rock Vocal Performance, an award he would win for the next 3 consecutive years. The research for this video comes from 2 sources. First is Lenny's autobiography, written with David Ritz, titled after his first album, Let Love Rule. Let Love Rule tells the story of Lenny's childhood growing up in Brooklyn and the Upper East Side of Manhattan, his move to the West Coast when his mother was cast in The Jeffersons, his early music projects under the pseudonym Romeo Blue, and finally the release of his first studio album. Throughout the book, Lenny talks about his musical influences, citing artists from varied genres including the Jackson 5, Stevie Wonder, Led Zeppelin, Prince, and Jimi Hendrix, as well as his time singing with the California Boys Choir, where he gained an appreciation for harmony and vocal technique. The second source comes from something you'll probably see many times in the course of these videos. It is Paul Zolo's interview with Lenny in his book, Songwriters on Songwriting. Songwriters on Songwriting is a compilation of interviews between songwriter and journalist Paul Zolo and dozens of amazing songwriters about their writing process and how they wrote their greatest songs. It's a must-have for anyone who is interested in how songs are written. Lenny's songwriting technique seems to come from a very ethereal and spiritual place. When Paul asks him where his songs come from, Lenny responds, "From the music. It's floating out there, you pick it up. When I hear something that isn't created yet, I'm listening to it in my head as if I'm listening to a record." So that is the mindset with which I approached my song. The inspiration for my song ended up coming to me from an unlikely source. I was watching Patton Oswalt's stand-up show, I Love Everything, and he said the phrase, "run at love," and immediately I wrote it in my notebook. I was reading Let Love Rule at the time, so I knew that it was fate that it would be my Lenny Kravitz song. I started my writing process based on Lenny's experience writing Fly Away. Lenny wrote Fly Away after he had already completed the album that it would end up on, saying, "I didn't mean to write a new song. I had already finished the album and turned it in. And I was in the studio messing around with this guitar amp and this guitar, a Les Paul. I started playing those chords and I liked the way they sounded. It was no big thing, it was simple." He drove around listening to the track he made from messing around in the studio and let the rest of the song come to him. So I did the same thing. I just spent some time with my electric guitar working on some chord progressions that I thought sounded good. I ended up with some simple progressions for verse, lead-in, and chorus, somewhat mimicking the structure of the song Let Love Rule. I recorded them and then spent a couple days just listening to the music, occasionally writing down a lyric idea or a feeling related to my title, Run at Love. By the time I sat down to write out and revise my lyrics, I had a good understanding of what I wanted to say with the song. I listened to the track I made on a loop and started singing words to go along with the progression. After singing along with the progression a few times, the lyrics ended up coming pretty easily. I think letting the music sit in my mind for a time helped make the lyric writing process easier since I wasn't trying to force a lyric to get started. I just listened to the music and saw where it took me. In a single writing session, I was able to finish my 2 verses and lead-ins. For the chorus, I ended up just using the words, "Run at Love," again similar to Lenny's Let Love Rule. I then moved on to another important skill that Lenny's technique taught me. One thing that struck me while reading Let Love Rule is Lenny's deep understanding of how a song is arranged for a recording. Even at an early age, Lenny understood the importance of how each element of a song is put together, saying the first time he heard Stevie Wonder's Inner Visions album that, "It was the first suite of songs I listened to where I focused on each overdub as a separate entity. This was my first conscious introduction to the meaning of a musical arrangement. He says of Maurice White's arrangements for Earth, Wind & Fire, on the recordings, he seamlessly stacks multiple melodies, vocals, strings, horns, percussion, backgrounds. I spent years studying his techniques. So for my song, I decided to focus on the arrangement of different instrument and vocal tracks as an important part of my song's structure. I charted out a general idea of how I wanted the song to flow together, what instruments would come in where, and how each section would connect to each other. At the same time, I knew that some of my plans would change as I recorded the song. I would let the music tell me where it wanted to go. After recording the various tracks into my audio software, I had my song.
If you think you're on a dead-end street, nowhere to go and feeling obsolete, there is hope that is waiting out there, but you won't find it if you're unaware. Open your eyes and you'll find you got to run out of love, 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 run out of love. One thing that I am sure of, you got to run out of love. Love is hopeful and love is kind. Love will help you to free your mind. Love will make you climb out of that hole. Let love rule your body and soul. Open your heart and you'll find you got to run out of love, 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 love. Run out of love, 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 love. Run out of love, 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 love. One thing that I am sure of, you've got to run out of love.
I hope you enjoyed the song. I really liked using some of Lenny's techniques. They felt very organic and natural. I also think that the song can be expanded upon further with additional instruments and voice types. This demo barely scratches the surface of the kinds of arrangements Lenny is able to put together. So let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for further additions you think would work well with the song. And if you are a fan of Lenny Kravitz, I would highly recommend his book Let Love Rule, along with Paul Zolo's Songwriters on Songwriting. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you at the next video for the Songwriters Workshop.